Hi everyone, it is Christine Cliff with Your Revitalized Energy. And okay, I want to talk to you today about what to look for when you are figuring out who to work with, whether it is energy healing, whether it is mentoring on spiritual growth, whether it's working with a medium or psychic. Anything in the metaphysical world, spiritual world, what to look for so you're getting what you need and you're not getting what you don't want. Okay. So there's lots of people out there, and there's lots of people for lots of different people. So for myself, your best friend might think I'm amazing, and you might go, I'm not sure, right? So number one is look for someone you enjoy being with. Okay, look for someone you like their energy, you like, just even if they weren't talking, you enjoy the energy they emanate, okay, or emit. You enjoy, you just enjoy them. You enjoy their energy, you enjoy conversation with them. That is number one. That is the most important thing, because that's going to tell you a whole lot that other things that you can't explain, right? But it tells you who they are in their essence. Okay? So really feel out how you feel around the person. Number two is, who do they work with? So for myself, and this isn't the right or wrong, this is just so you know who I work with. I work with divine source, God, whatever you want to call them. So I work with divine source. I work with archangels. I work with all the loved ones and my tribe that I'm meant to work with. I work with other people's loved ones and tribe when they come in. My tribe consists of people from other galaxies, from other realms and realities, so mystical creatures. I have spirit animals that work with me, and yeah, so I work through the gamut. That's who I work with. Most of who I work with are of guiding light. Some of them live in the gray zone. Okay, I'll talk about that in a moment. So you want to work with someone who works with people or beings that you need. Okay? They might not be who the person you're working with needs, but you need to work with people who are working with those that you need. Okay? So if the person that you're connecting with works with one entity, and that's all they work with, that's all they connect with, then they may or may not be for you. Okay, because that person is very specific. That person is very narrow-minded. They're not open to being with or including the guidance and the help that you need. Then they might not be the person for you. But maybe the person that they work with is totally who you are meant to connect with and work with. Maybe so. Okay, so finding out who people work with is super important. You want to know that you're going to get what you need to get. So, with that, there are 3 levels of, or I say 3 levels, there's more than that, but typically this is what we look into. 3 levels of goodness, right? We have the things that are totally light and love. There isn't a way to manipulate them into doing harm. You couldn't. You couldn't if you tried. Okay? So, angels, divine source, anything that you think of that is wrapped in white light. Okay? Then you have the gray zone. The gray zone is neither good nor bad, but you need to be careful because they can do negative work or evil work or self-righteous work if you permit. Okay? So with myself, I work in light and love. I'm going to hold off on this for a second because that kind of comes to point number 3. Okay, so there's white, there is the gray zone, and then there's the black. Okay, and the black, just like the white light, you can't get them to do negative work if you tried. Over here, the darkness, you can't get them to do good if you try. Okay? They can't work with love. Okay. So that's the who. Number 3 is the why. The why people do what they do. What intention do they have when they're working with you? And most of this is, I'm going to say, with energy healing and spiritual growth, but for mediums and psychics, it goes in there too. The why they do it. So I work with light and love. I do things for your highest good. I really attempt, to never put my wants or desires or my beliefs in anything we do. I'm human, so 1 or 2% of the time, things kind of slip in there. And generally, I'll tell you that that's it's a human part. It's the human part that I'm giving out, and often it comes like as advice, opposed to a totally channeled advice. And I'll tell you, that's coming from me, not from them. But the why for your greatest good, and no ill intent. And love for myself, but not in an egotistical way. For example, so I'll use this as an example. Let me just backtrack for a sec because I think there's something I was supposed to say. So with those that you're connecting with, to find out the why they do what they do, what's their process. Because, so if I'm working with someone, whether I'm helping teach, right, with their spiritual growth, or whether I'm working for energy healing, my intention is that you're getting what you need. So if you need a cyclops to come in during our session because they're there to help you in whatever way you need to spiritually grow, then I'm going to allow them in. And I'm going to allow them to do what they're meant to do within the boundaries of loving and caring nature. So they're a gray. They live in the gray zone. They could do, right, Cyclops. They could do a lot of harm. But they're there for your greatest good and in the confines of light and love. And so whatever they need to do, whatever they have to achieve, then that's what happens. I don't put my own ego in there, or my own beliefs on the good or bad of them, or what have you. So that is what I attempt. If it's to do with your growth, right, and learning how you're meant to work with things, then it's really about you. It's not about what I think is right. There is some laws of energy. There's some laws of attraction. There's some scientific things that if you do this, then that's going to be the outcome. It's not my thoughts. It's science. It's the laws of nature. So those things are taught, but what you do with it, that's up to you. And I guide you in what the universe shows me you're meant to have. You're meant to know which direction you're meant to go in. That's what we do. There's no right or wrong. This is the way things have to be. So you kind of want to know that. You want to know the why. My why is whatever's best for you. And what is best for you and what the universe has intended for you. That is my why. Some people can work with the gray, in the gray zone. And, okay, I'm going to go back. There are those that will have their ego as part of the factor. Well, you shouldn't allow that, right? That might be, I'm going to say, I'm trying to hear some catchphrases that you might go, oh, like you shouldn't allow it, such as, oh, you shouldn't be allowing people to send you energy like that. We're going to need to send it back. Let's create, I'm going to say a diversion, so that when they send nasty things to you, it goes right back to them, right? Like they're going to do that to you, send it right back to them. And yeah, the ego gets in there. So if you start hearing or feeling that what they're doing or saying is not full of love, is not as loving as you would like to be, then they're probably not the person for you. Now here's the catch. They can be the person for you for step 1, 2, up to step 5. And then you have such growth that you're like, oh, we're not connecting anymore. Like, I'm not feeling absolutely like this is a person to take me further. And it's okay for you to let them know, or not let them know, but it's okay for you to let them know that you are going to try someone new, that you're going to do whatever. Because if they are truly guided by the universe, then they understand that you will go where you're meant to go, when you're meant to go there. Okay, now there's one other point that was trying to come out. Okay, this is the other one. So this is your 4th. Okay, so our 4 ways to know that we're working with who we're supposed to work with, or finding out who we're supposed to work with. It's that you leave each session knowing you're a better person because of it. Okay. So whether you have liked the information or not, I'm going to say that's neither here nor there, because often you need to be told things that you might not want to hear, because that's how we grow. But that you feel elevated. You feel like the what you got has made a difference in your life. That you are going to be a better person, more spiritually connected, have the growth you need, whatever, what have you. That's what you want to feel. That, yeah, that was well worth my time and effort. What you don't want is to feel like you're indebted to them. That they have done so much that you feel like you need to keep going back, or that you need to praise them or anything like that. There shouldn't be a feeling of indebtedness. And I'm channeling this bit because I'm like, how do I word this without outing certain people or certain behaviors, without saying certain things? So I'm listening to guidance on this. So you don't want to feel indebted. You don't want to feel like you're carrying more burdens later than when you went. And I mean, don't want to feel like, right, like you're in a session, it may have felt wonderful, right? It was relaxing. But yet there's something about that time that you feel like you still have something weighing on you. That should have been done in the session. And if it wasn't, like there's times when people come here that I can't do everything that they want done in one session because we don't have 5 hours, right? We can have an hour, a couple hours to get things done. And that is going to be enough for the body then. And that it is going to process it, and they're going to move forward in a couple of weeks. That if there's things that are supposed to be still worked on, they'll come back because they feel like, okay, I've gotten so far, but I know there's further to go, right? It's not that something new is weighing you down. It's just that you are now ready to go further, okay? Like if you were carrying 6 sticks, the first session gets rid of 3, and you get used to that, and you deal with that, and then you come back so we can get rid of the next 3 or the next 2, whatever's supposed to happen in that next session. Because if we try to dump it all at once, guess what? They fall on your toe, and then you're in a lot of pain. Yes, we got rid of the sticks, but you're needing to deal with some other agonies because we did it so fast. So we get rid of 1 or 2, and the next time we get rid of a couple more, and we get rid of a couple more, and each time you're feeling better and better and better and better. But what you don't want is, 1, to have so much released that you've just dropped them on your toe. So you're in so much emotional pain that you can't even deal with life. Okay, you don't want that. And you don't want to feel like, yeah, you took the sticks from here, but now I feel like you really just stuck them in my pockets. Like, I don't have this burden, but yet there's still something hanging on. And that you don't want either, because that's a healer that has attachments, that creates a bond that makes you want to keep going back and back and back and back and back, because they've actually planted a seed that makes you need to go back and back and back. Oh, this is the next thing. We're getting along on this video, so I will speed this up. The next thing, so this is going to be the bonus, because there's 4, and the bonus, that you don't want someone who panders to your, they're using the word grief, but I don't mean grief as in like someone died grief, like you're a woe is me, right? The grief, your grievances, like, this happened today. Oh, yeah, I need to come because life is really sucky. And they're like, oh, really? Like, what's going on? Oh, my mother did this. My husband did that. It's like, oh, man, that really sucks, doesn't it? Like, yeah, let's get rid of some of this. Oh, yeah, oh, I hate when my mother does that too. Right? Like, that's what friends are for. And it's great to talk to friends who can commiserate with you. But your energy healer, your support system in the metaphysical and spiritual realm is not meant to be, they're not meant to commiserate, because they're actually meant to be above it and not let those things hinder themselves or you. So yes, we complain. Like, sometimes you need to vent, and that is fine. You vent, you know your life isn't miserable, right? You just want to state that my mother said this and it was hurtful. End of story. It didn't take away from my life, it didn't add to my life, but it was hurtful. I need to feel those feelings and I let it go, right? That is one thing. It is not to not feel things. It is not to not get angry sometimes. But the person you want is not the person who's going to commiserate or pander to all those grievances. They're there to guide you through it, help you let it go, not percolate, not to have it percolate. Okay? So if you went feeling cruddy about your mother, your brother, your husband, your children, and oh, yeah, their energy made you feel, oh, yeah, oh, like I got this big warm hug from my best friend, and I am still cranky about my mother, my brother. But you know what? I know they understand. They understand all my troubles. So I'm going to keep going back to them because they understand all my troubles. Well, guess what? They understand how to keep you coming back because they've never helped you with anything. That is that. We need to be compassionate. We need to comprehend. But that's your little bonus. Those that commiserate with you are not really doing their job. They're being your friend, but they're not doing what they're intended to be doing. So that is it. There is the who is working on your team, the why you do what you do, what perspective do you come from, the light and the dark, and what part do you connect with, the how you're left feeling when you leave, and the not being weighed down, and the commiseration. So those are the things to think about when you find or are working with your person. So either it's going out finding a new person or wondering if this person is still right for you. And guess what? If you're wondering that, they're not. You might love them as a person, but if you're wondering if they're still right for you, then they're no longer right for you. And know that just because your friend likes them, that was number one. That was number one. The energy. Okay, so let's do this again. The energy you feel from them, who they work with, why they do it, the level of light and dark, and the feeling like you've let stuff go, and are better because of the session. Okay. Okay. I'm going to let you go and have a glorious day. And whether you are finding a person for the first time or you are wondering whether or not you should change, very, very best of luck to you. If you have questions, comments, concerns, comment below or send me a message. I'm always here to help. And if you loved this advice and the others that have gone out, please make sure you have subscribed. 1, so we know that you're loving our information, and 2, so you get notifications on when the next video is up. Have a great day.